Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. This is Seth Kills, otherwise known as Nick, and today we're going to be talking about Buddy Games. And this is a movie that came out in 2019, and this is going to be a spoiler review, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. Actually, my first initial thoughts. Definitely, if you like the raunchy comedies, kind of like the Hangover type, or um, Tag, which was another movie I definitely want to talk about as well. You'll like this movie. It's definitely on the raunchy side. It definitely has a lot of jokes that if you have a weak stomach may not land, but I definitely enjoyed it. It definitely reminded me of like high school kind of thing, hanging out with the boys and just kind of joking around with each other and nut punching each other, which was definitely a thing when I was in high school. Some reason, don't know why. When I was a kid, it was definitely something everyone did. You know, if you had a best friend or a close friend, you would like sneak behind them and kind of give them a little nut punch. But so it kind of brought back some memories. But the basic storyline of this movie is there's Josh Duhamel, which is actually his directorial debut. Is this movie, his first movie that he's directed, and he plays a character that's called the Bob Father, and he's basically a very successful person that was able to sell his business. I think it was like 370 something $1 million. So he's definitely well off, and he has a bunch of best friends: Zane, Doc, Duffy, Shelly, and Bender, and Olivia Munn, who's gorgeous by the way. She plays a character named Tiffany, which is the girlfriend of the Bob father, and they do this like whole annual games where they're kind of competing and they're playing these all different type of games like arrow, where you wear this body proof suit or bulletproof suit basically, and you shoot them with arrows and somehow the arrows stick on you but don't penetrate you. So they do that. They do this kind of like strongman competition kind of thing, and it's just different various games. They have one game where they stick their head up this little platform, and this uh I think it's a dragon or iguana, some dragon iguana or something like that, which is like this big alligator looking lizard that's huge. And the whole point of the game is whoever quits and goes down loses. So that was kind of funny scene because it, that little alligator thing bites on their face, and it's kind of entertaining to watch, obviously. But so they have a bunch of different various games that they compete with. But the whole point of this is during one year playing the competition, Shelly's character, I don't know why he does this, but he brings out his balls and plants it on another. And I've never done this before. I don't know who the hell would ever think of this, but it was planting on this guy that was sleeping because he was too drunk. And Bender's character was sitting with Shelly's wife, and Shelly's wife was kind of debating, should I shoot him with his paintball gun or not? And was trying to get Bender to do it, which is played by Nick Swanson, or Swardson. And I've never seen Nick play this type of character before. He usually plays a little bit more, I don't know, flamboyant character. But uh, him and his wife, or him and Shelly's wife, was kind of tossing the gun back and forth, and she was daring him. And how the movie kind of portrayed it, it made it seem like Nick Bender's character was the one that shot, but it wasn't. It was Shelly's wife. But whoever shot, which we thought it was Nick, and we later find out that was Shelly's wife, ends up shooting Shelly's balls, and he loses both of them, which is gross, but it's kind of can't help but chuckle a little bit. And the movie kind of jumps 5 years in the future after this incident. Nobody really have heard from Shelley. They don't know what has happened or what happened after he got injured. They thought that maybe he just got patched up and didn't lose anything. So Josh Duhamel's character visits him in some type of mental hospital, and he's going through a hard time, obviously. And he comes out to Josh Duhamel's character and tells him that he lost both his his boys, and um, Shelly's character, his mom wants Josh Duhamel's character to put up another Buddy Games, and there hasn't been a Buddy Games, I guess, for like the last 5 years, or at least Shelly hasn't been around for them. And at first he's hesitant, but he, obviously agrees to kind of bring up Shelly's spirits again, try to get him to hang out with friends again and get him back to the world. So they start off the Buddy Games again. And the whole movie at this point becomes kind of like a hangover type movie where they're playing jokes on each other. Some of them are they're definitely nasty jokes, and you definitely get a lot of chuckles. Um, it's not a perfect comedy by any means, but I mean it's only an hour and 30 minutes, and the whole duration of the games, and who ultimately wins and why they ultimately win. And they actually put up money against the game too, so it adds that extra thrill factor, I guess, for the contestants. And they do a lot of funny games, and I'm not gonna spoil the games for you, but it's let's just say that a lot of them are raunchy, and I guess only the creative mind could think of these type of games, but it's definitely entertaining to watch. So if you haven't seen it yet, the only thing too, by the way, I wanted to talk about was at the very end of the movie. They're doing the last part of the games, and Olivia Munn's character comes back into the picture, and she kind of like separated a little bit from Josh Duhamel's character because he didn't, she's feeling basically neglected, which rightfully so that she should feel that way because she was being neglected, but it's for good reason. I mean, he was just trying to help out the friend, but ultimately she proposes to him, and you know he ultimately chooses his friends than to get married. Which I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that. It was kind of sweet, she accepted, what he did as far as like leaving her, and still loves him, and basically want to spend the rest of his life. But I think the reason why he said no too is because she didn't want to have these buddy games as well. I mean, I've only watched this, like the first time I watched it was I think last or 2 days ago. But I think that's what it was. Is she didn't want him to do the buddy games anymore, and he couldn't make that promise. But I would have said yes. I would have been like, all right, well, I got my friend back, and all my friends are happy again. I think it's time to settle down. I think his character has to be close in the mid 40s or maybe heading into his 50s, so you would think he would want to settle down. But it's definitely a typical dude flick. It's high testosterone. Bring you back to the high school days where you're always competing against your friends, which is a lot like that movie Tag, which we'll talk about soon. But I definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but if you do enjoy those American Pie, Hangover, raunchy type comedies, this is definitely up there with Hangover for sure. Not quite American Pie, but definitely up there with Hangover. So I would definitely suggest watching it if you haven't seen it yet. But if you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.